Am I the asshole for refusing to do free labor for my family?
My initial response is no, but we'll see.
What's the labor?
And then I lit them all on fire.
Yeah, no. Don't worry, it's not going to be that. Okay. My dad and my uncle own a bar/restaurant together. My dad is somewhat poor, and my uncle is a multimillionaire.
Okay.
Free labor.
Is this the bear?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
When they first opened, they asked me to work for them since I just finished college in 2020. I said I would work for a little while since COVID was going on, and I was unsure how my career was going to work out during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I have an associate's in e-media tech and an MBA with a focus in marketing. So I handled management, cooking, cleaning, serving, event coordination, marketing, web development, and the branding for the entire business.
It sounds like me beefing up my resume, even though I just play Stardew Valley all day.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, because, like, you know, technically,
I produced
in this job,
the podcast, I hosted the podcast, I did the web development, I made
edit,
all the social media posts, and that's not even true.
No, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this isn't just some small bar. This is one that is a large venue that has huge events, etc.
Jesus.
They refused to give me any sort of decent pay.
What?
I was being paid $15 an hour to do management, marketing, web development, etc.
Dog.
For serving and bartending, I was only making $6 an hour. I was feeling underpaid and overworked. In the back of my mind, I understood that they just opened the business and money was tight. After working there for 3 years, nothing has changed for me. They couldn't even offer me any sort of benefits. Nothing. My first year working there, I only made like $12,000, which was less than half of what I was making working full-time in college.
Jesus Christ.
I made efforts to quit multiple times, and my dad begged me to stay, offered me incentives and health insurance. I ended up staying, but nothing was done about my benefits or my pay raise. It seems like they were just breadcrumbing me along.
Yeah.
I finally left, and now I'm working a very good job as a chief marketing officer for a large company that I've been doing part-time contract work with while I was at the bar. I'm being compensated extremely well, making a salary based off $150 an hour. They provided me full benefits, and they don't overwork me.
That's good.
That's good. A company doing that is pretty good.
Yeah.
My dad and uncle have been asking me lately to do some stuff for them, like adjust the website and graphic design, and come in and do photo/video for large events. However, they told me they aren't able to pay me, and my rich uncle managed to say to me, "You shouldn't expect stuff from your family like that." Multimillionaire uncle, by the way.
That's the part that's really making this. Like, I could understand if they didn't have that much money,
but one of them does.
Then you shouldn't have hired someone
at all,
at all, and make them do this much work.
Yeah.
But it would be like, okay, I can understand how that happens, and you're not like the devil.
Yeah, right.
You're pretty bad, but you're not like the devil.
Yeah.
But this is like
you're the devil. Yeah.
You're the devil.
It really upsets me because I just got swept under the rug and treated like I have no value. Meanwhile, I'm working for a company that offers me all kinds of incentives / treats me well and makes sure I'm always compensated for everything. Not only can they not offer me anything, my uncle has overly high expectations of the work I do for him. Like nothing is ever good enough, and when he needs something, it has to be done immediately.
He's a fucking choosing beggar also.
Yeah. At his house, he has workers like a chef, maids, and doesn't really do anything for himself, so I feel like I'm one of those workers to him. Am I the asshole for refusing to do work for them?
No, not at all.
There's an edit. I'm going to read it just to be safe. Didn't think I'd need to add this, but I have other past work experience beyond the restaurant. I worked good jobs in college and have a great resume to be hired for a CMO position. I was working at this company part-time while working for my family, thus them offering me a full-time position. I worked hard and did a great job for them. I'm almost 30 for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I wasn't hired with zero experience, silly gooses.
Why would anyone say that? You said that
you
worked
in college, and you also said in the post that you worked part-time.
And you have a CMO position that they wouldn't just
have a BMA
fucking hire
marketing,
you.
and you have an associate's in digital media, basically, or
yeah,
media.
basically.
Yeah. No.
No,
So
you have to send them your rates, and if they
don't do it, and also if your uncle has fucking people working in his house, he should be able to pay you.
He should. Am I the asshole for asking my husband not to text his best friend's wife anymore? I, 29 female, met my now husband, 35 male, 6 years ago. Let's call my husband Tim, his best friend Doug, and his best friend's wife, Kate, 36 female.
Okay.
Tim and Doug have been best friends for 15 years.
Okay.
Tim has said he does not like Kate, but still wants to hang out with Doug, so he accepts Kate's behavior. Kate is a very domineering person who has repeatedly bad-mouthed and argued with Doug in front of us, at times asking us to take her side.
Oh, so they're fighting.
So she's fighting with her husband, and then she goes to her husband's friend and his wife, which is OP.
Yeah, okay, to be
and
like.
then is like, my husband
This guy
fucking sucks. Take
right?
my side.
Yeah, that's weird. Why are you divorced?
Yeah. We started looking. Yes. We started looking for a house in 2021. I told Tim not to tell Doug since we were in early phases of house hunting. Tim told Doug anyway.
All right, that's a little fucked.
Well, Kate had just started working for a real estate agent and said we should work with her new boss.
Oh, no. No. No.
We told her we would think about it, and within a day she scheduled a meeting for us and her boss.
Okay.
And argued with us when we said we still weren't sure about moving forward with her boss as our real estate agent.
Yeah, because he didn't. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we agreed and ended up having a very bad experience with her boss as our real estate agent. We couldn't back out because we didn't want Kate's job to be impacted. When we had an offer on a house, tension arose between us and our real estate agent because the agent wanted us to offer more money when there were no other offers. During this time, Kate had texted Tim behind my back and says that he needs to control me.
Whoa.
And I'm being unreasonable. I was very upset when I found out. We did end up getting the house by staying firm with our original offer.
I mean, that's good, but Jesus, they're really trying to take as much money as they can.
Yeah, Doug had Kate apologize to us. The apology was not sincere, but we accepted. So I mean, I guess we don't know.
Yeah, but
fully if it was sincere or not.
No, yeah, but
Tim and I got engaged in 2022. At dinner with Kate and Doug, real estate was brought up, and I said I wish we had a different agent. Kate flipped out and said she wanted to leave. She made everyone leave, and Tim left with Kate and Doug.
What?
So her husband just fucking left her.
Wow.
To go with his friends. I had to Uber home alone.
Oh my God.
I told Tim that if he ever leaves me behind again, I am leaving him.
Yeah.
I felt that he chose Kate and Doug over me and that Kate disrespected me in the past by texting Tim behind my back during the real estate transaction. Tim promised that he would never do it again and explained that he was embarrassed that I brought up the real estate transaction a year later. That I thought was weird.
That's a little, yeah.
Embarrassed?
Why are you embarrassed? Yeah.
Like, so he was embarrassed that she even brought it up?
But I don't even think they brought up real estate. Like, it just came up in conversation.
Which, I mean, I assume is because she's a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Tim and I moved past him. We got married in October 2023. Kate did not attend, and Doug still came as Tim's best man. I haven't seen or spoken to Kate since that dinner in 2022. Kate still privately texts Tim. She will text him about a show she's watching or about Doug. I told Tim today that I do not like her texting him after everything that happened. There's no reason for her to be privately texting her husband's best friend, especially after she talked bad about me to him in the past. Tim thinks it's not a big deal. Doug talks crap about Kate to Tim on a regular basis. Tim talks crap about Kate to me on a regular basis. Am I the asshole or not the asshole for telling him to ignore Kate's text and only text Doug? So it's really interesting because there's a lot of people that say everybody's shitty here.
I don't agree with that necessarily. I mean,
they're like upset at her for still being upset.
But also, like, you got fucked though. Like, you got fucked by this person. Like,
yeah, you're just in a relationship with someone, and then their friend's wife just comes in and just
into here and fucking was like,
tries
you
to
gotta
screw
buy
you
this
over
house
financially.
My sister-in-law wore a wedding dress to my wedding. Story time. So my husband, who we'll call Steve, has a sister who we'll call Amy. Amy is the biggest ugly slut. No, Amy is the biggest brat ever. Amy had some sort of like childhood sickness, but she overcame it. However, his parents became extremely lenient with her because of this, to the point where they couldn't discipline her in any way without becoming a massive deal. And she's been let go of multiple jobs because of this. She also doesn't have many friends because she always has to be the center of attention. Well, we've tried to raise this with them many times. That girl is a touchy subject. You're just met with the words, she had it rough during her childhood disease. But so do so many people, but they're not arseholes. Tell us how it's not our place to tell them how to parent their daughter. So me and my husband decided to have a summer wedding. And to my surprise, Amy showed up wearing a lacy white dress. I would have easily believed this if they told me she directly picked this from a wedding catalogue. So during the cocktail hour, loads of people were asking me about Amy. And I must have been becoming visually annoyed. Many people thought she was my husband's ex. She was just trying to be majorly petty. My best friend is called Stacey. Stacey is the closest thing to a sister I have because I'm an only child. We are very, very protective of each other. And I could tell the situation was pissing her off. Just had that look in her eyes. So I watched Stacey walk over to my husband's family, greet them. She's like, hi, how are we? Have a nice time? Yeah, great time. Oh, don't you look lovely, Susan? Don't you look lovely, Karen? Oh, beautiful wedding, beautiful wedding. Stacey was a little bit tipsy. As she was walking past Amy, she tripped and fell, spilling a full glass of wine all over her lacy white dress. Amy sprinted into the bathroom. Of course, my mother-in-law was in tow. Steve's dad then came up to me and began shouting at me at my wedding. I don't think so, Steve's dad. I don't think so. He was demanding that I tell Stacey to leave. I was like, no, hunt. Stacey's just a big fat lightweight. It was all a mistake. We did say that we'd make sure that Stacey sobered up a little bit before the reception. So during the reception, incredibly, Amy's wearing a beautiful green dress that she'd bought as a backup. And Stacey just magically felt so much less drunk. My in-laws have not stopped bringing this incident up. I have a hard time feeling bad about this situation, even though I know for a fact it wasn't a mistake. Am I the arsehole for giving my boyfriend's girl best friend a reality check? Story time. My husband has one of those friends. We'll call her Amy. What else are we going to call her? Her and I have gotten on fine for years. But every now and again, she will make a comment. She'll sit a little bit close. Or she'll even go as far as to sit on his bloody knee. She even tries to tell me that she knows him better than I do. Don't think that's possible, babe. So I've spoken to Steve several times about this. And about how she's completely out of order sometimes. The majority of times. To be fair, it's so many like micro actions that we look a bit strange if we called her out for every single one of them. So this past weekend, me and this big group of friends, we all got together, including Amy. So me and Steve actually got married secretly a few weeks prior. And it was at this meetup where we told everybody. Everyone was congratulating us, hugging us. Amy sat with a face like ice. Honestly, girlie was giving Olaf a run for his money. That was when Amy went running up to Steve and was shouting at him about how let down she felt. She was like, I'm so let down that you didn't even tell me, let alone get invited. Moaning about how we didn't even send her any pictures. And Steve was like, Amy, no one except our parents knew. Literally no one was invited. Not even the parents, even though they knew. And we still hadn't had our professional pictures back, so we couldn't even show them a picture. This girl started sobbing her eyes out. How could you do this to your best friend? She randomly brought up the fact that she wanted him to be her maid of honour. And then was like, and I can't even get invited to the wedding. I'd just like to point out she isn't even in a relationship. She's very, very single. She was like, I don't know how we're going to come back from this. Our friendship is going to need some serious TLC. And this is in front of like the whole group. And as you can imagine, I'd had enough. Could not take it anymore. I turned to her and I was like, listen, babe, he might be your best friend, but you're not his. I was like, this wedding was between me and him. You weren't even a consideration. Now the friendship group is completely split. The whole group were all Steve and Amy's friends before I came into the picture. And some of them think what I said was absolutely uncalled for. They said I should have just let Steve handle it. So what do you think? Did I take it too far?
My coworker is pregnant with her first baby, and she asked me yesterday about my thoughts on her baby name, and things didn't go well. We work at a hotel that doesn't get much traffic, so there's always a lot of downtime to sit and chat. We're not friends, but since we're both girls and the same age, we do speak a lot when we're on the same shift together. She asked me if I heard of the name Venus, and she says she's going to name her daughter that, but add an A at the end, so it's Venusa. She said that it's so exotic and unique sounding, right? I said no, it sounds like an already existing name, Vanessa. She got upset and said no, it doesn't, and that she's asked her boyfriend and her parents, and they all said it's a name that's never been heard of before. I said that it sounds like Vanessa, and that it's kind of a dumb name to give someone, since every time they say it out loud, people will call them Vanessa, and it will always be misspelled. She started to cry and said, great, people are already insulting my parenting choices. My girlfriend cut my daughter's hair and won't admit it. She has been cute and crafty with my daughter, but at the same time has much lower patience than I do. She frequently redirects my daughter and seems to be somewhat rude to her sometimes, or like cold. My daughter has picked up on this and seems to hang out in her room a lot more. Granted, her room is freshly remodeled and she loves it, but has said some things to show that she isn't that favorable with my girlfriend. I noticed on Sunday her hair seemed a little bit shorter. The previous day, my girlfriend said that she needed a haircut. After that, we dyed the eggs and chilled for a second. I went to the gas station for about 10 minutes to get us some snacks, and I come back to Nova crying hard in girlfriend's arms because I left, which she has done sometimes. But me putting the pieces together, her hair is definitely shorter.